We are live and it is my book launch day. I'm so excited. I'm here with my dear friend and my book launch business coach, Amanda. And this is also my last live stream for a while, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of getting addicted. It's fun. But I challenged myself to get to today and I finally made it. So I don't know. But Amanda, how about you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do in your business, since you have made such a huge difference in my life and my efforts to build a business out of being an author speaker. And you have pushed me into very uncomfortable zones to get me here, and I love it, because if you didn't do it, I wouldn't have done it and couldn't have done this without you. So please tell everyone about yourself.
Honestly, I kind of mean this, and no disrespect to anybody else that I've worked with, but I've never wanted somebody to get a bestseller status more than you. I'm
Aw,
just, I don't know why that made me really emotional, but
aw. It's because
you
of
and
our
I have
history.
yeah, well, and you and I have so much history together too, so it feels personal. But so my name is Amanda, and I have a company called Visionary Business Coaching. And what's really unique, I think, about what I do is, first of all, I've been an entrepreneur for like forever. My first business was a coffee shop when I was 18, and I'm 47 now. And there's been, nonprofits, renovation company, ice cream parlor, just a number of them. And then I started doing consulting freelance really organically. People were just coming and asking me for some advice because of my own experiences in entrepreneurship, and not all of them successful, which I think is really important. Like, I learn a lot more when I fail, and when you fail in business, the lessons are fast. You don't want to repeat them. So the approach that I take in with the visionary business consulting or coaching is that I really want to take the time with clients to focus on their why, who they're doing this for, getting really, really refined. And it can be quite difficult for people because they think, okay, I need to speak to everybody. I don't want to, and I know you and I even went through that conversation back when began working together, doing the client avatar exercise. Oh yeah, but I want to reach this person, I want to reach that person. It's like, yeah, but if you get really refined, if you do this for one person, you will actually resonate more with everybody. So I take clients through a whole process, as I did with you, from visioning to client avatar to laying the foundation for some goals. And do you mind if I tell a story about how the business Bible shifted?
No, not at all. I'd love it. I'd love
I
it.
love this story because at first you started working with me around your memoir, which is coming out in the spring, which I'm so excited about that one. And so we were looking at what's going to be the strategy, and how do we make sure that this memoir is not just a book, but it becomes a whole business, because that's my expertise is business. And I kind of look at the books, again, no disrespect to authors out there like yourself who are so passionate about writing. I remember even when you sent me the manuscript, I was like, it's not really even that important. What I care more about is the business. And you're like, yeah, but it took years to write this. But so initially, when we were working on the strategy, it was just this like random thing you said. We were in a meeting, and you were like, "Oh yeah, over the weekend I uploaded a book on Amazon. It's this business Bible that I wrote just to make sure that I knew how to work with Amazon, so I'd be ready for my memoir." And I was like, "You what? Like you published a book like without even?"
I also got a lot of people to purchase it, and I bought a bunch of copies and sent them to people for feedback, because I wanted to make sure that, before I released a book for my community, that it would be, relevant to my community. So, yeah. So at the time, it was kind of like an experiment in so many ways to figure out how to self publish, and also if I was hitting the right points.
Exactly. Like it was, like obviously, like I understood totally why you did it, but for me, I was like, we can use this as an opportunity, which is what we did. We pulled back, and we put it through some of the branding. So at that point, we had talked a little bit about your brand, and I was like, why don't we really put some energy into this book first? Because through that momentum, people are going to start learning about you and your incredible gift of speaking. You have this wonderful gift of taking information and putting it into bite-sized pieces for people. Like, I even like with this business Bible, what I really liked about it, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Like when I was like, well, let me take a look at it. And I looked at it and I was like mind blown. I was like, okay, like stop the presses, pull that book. We are really going to launch this because it's so special. So I have my own experience. I too was in the trade for a large number of years. From the time I was a teenager, our experiences are vastly different. You know, I was a young person but the one thing that is really common though, and that is the same for both of us, is that you learn these things the hard way traditionally. You know, maybe you're lucky and you have a mentor or a good agency owner that holds your hand, but usually not. You know, like it's kind of more popular to exploit that innocence or naivety. And then by the time you learn these things, you're a little jaded from the industry because you've had to learn it the hard way. Again, emotional. So when I got the book and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, like it's not just, you know, the like empowered and really professional sex workers that benefit from this information, but it's also those that are vulnerable because nobody just lays it out. Like nobody just says, this is how you can do it safely and independently and profitable. And what I thought was also so amazing is like, is it the last chapter that's the manifestation chapter?
I think it's like chapter 5 or something.
Okay.
It's in the middle.
And it's this whole chapter on just like the mindset. And I was like, okay, like I just thought I just was totally mind blown by that. That not only was it this very explicit, not explicit in that sense, but detailed.
Detailed, not explicit.
Like this one wasn't it. But
check out my erotic stories book for that.
Exactly right. I'm going to drop the link into the channel.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I was just mind blown by the whole thing. And it's so in line with what I know about you. You know, like you're the kind of person that just wants to give that information away. And I actually had a question for you. I was wondering if you wanted to tell the story about how we met. Like, how long ago was it? Like 2 decades. We're so old.
Oh my gosh.
Annie, we're so old. But not
I just want to do a shout out to Dawn, who's sending little comments. Thank you for commenting and saying I'm so talented. She's like my best friend, so I paid her to say that. Just kidding. I didn't pay her, but she does love me either way. And yeah, I would love to tell the story of how we met because I can't believe what we've been through together and apart over the years. It's just insane. But we met, I do believe it was about 2005, shortly after my youngest or my middle child was born. And we got introduced through a group that we both were interested in belonging to. It was a consortium of sex industry professionals called the BC Coalition of Experiential Communities. And we meeting each other and working through that group and working in the downtown east side a lot, we started to see, because we were both from Surrey, we started to see that there were no services in Surrey. And so we started doing outreach. First, we just started doing outreach. We would, pack up the mama mobile, we used to call my car, because it was a big station wagon. And I'd leave my kids at home with my husband, and Amanda and I would head out, and Amanda was amazing. She'd pack like a whole bunch of sandwiches and hot chocolate and get that all organized. And then we had friends donating clothes. It was crazy. And then we would drive around and we would let street-based sex workers that we would see, we'd pull over, and we scared some of them. Some of them were like, "Ooh." But most of them were so touched. Like, we had people crying. We would let them sit in my car and warm up. It was like the middle of winter when we were doing it. And we'd give them a bunch of clothes and hot chocolate and sandwiches and resource information. And it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was. It also got harsh though.
Mm,
Unfortunately, the
mhm,
way that it ended, like, I remember because we eventually got a location, remember? There was a
mhm.
nonprofit that was like, "We'll give you space," and I think it was like 2 days a week, and then we even got a little bit of money, and we would pay people honorariums to help us, and we started making shirts that said "Surrey Girls" and selling them and using that money to give
Mm,
honorariums so that, the amount of money that
yeah,
those women were making, sometimes the honorarium meant they didn't have to work that night or could work in a safer way. And
that's
um,
amazing.
and then the community, literally the community, like a consortium of people, were like, "Oh, we have to get rid of this group," because what they said was that we were attracting the industry. And we were like, "This is already it's so." Anyways, I don't want to
I
go.
actually worry that people will say that about my book, that
How
I'm
did you talk
I'm
about that?
attracting people to the industry by my book, especially because
Mhm.
I talk about, for me, how empowering it's been to have, uh, more financial security and stability, and the time to pursue personal growth and that kind of thing. And it's just, a lot of people, I think, might think that I'm glorifying the industry. But I really think it just takes a certain kind of person to choose to get into this industry, and a lot of the time that's an entrepreneurial person. To be honest. I don't think it's all like what people believe it is. It's really just a decision, a financial decision, depending on how you obviously get introduced, and the different experience. Obviously, people have very different experiences, but for me, it has been empowering, and this book is hopefully going to help empower other people.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing that you said, about could this book be looked upon as something that's like enticing people into this industry? And I think that, people have to take a hard look at what they even mean by that. Like, what's wrong with people going to this industry in a safe way? Especially with things like some of the work that you do with OnlyFans and stuff like that don't even require your body to be present. That's really
Mhm,
cool. So there's many facets within this industry. And also, I think that the reality is, women do not have the same earning potential as men, and there needs to be alternative options. Also, the flexibility. Like for me, the gifts that I received from being in the trade had a lot to do with being able to be present more. At the time, I was a single mother, and it allowed me to have the flexibility versus always having my child in daycare while I managed 2 or 3 jobs, which is what ended up
mhm,
happening after I exited.
mhm,
And so I think even those people that look at, or are you enticing people into it, a lot of the reason that people are opposed to the industry, and there's times in my life that I could put myself in that category because my experience is different than yours,
mhm,
and I don't want people to have the experience I did. I still stand by that. I
mhm,
no longer blame the industry for it, but that took me a lot of my own healing
mhm,
because I think it's pretty natural to blame the industry for it because that's the location or the situation where those things happen to me.
mhm.
But with wisdom and hindsight and years and experience, I'm able to look at it and say, no, it was the structure or my lack of agency within the industry. And
Mhm.
tools like your book, which I can't find anything like your book. Like we did a bunch of research. I don't know where something like that exists. If it does, I can't find it on Amazon.
I actually heard about a few books in
Yeah.
a Twitter Spaces group this morning that sound fascinating and sounded like some of the elements that I'm offering in my book. So I'm definitely going to look them up. Um,
Yeah.
like it's like, but I think some of them are like impossible to get anymore. You have to know someone with a copy, kind of thing. So it's just, yeah, it's people don't realize that this industry has had writers and producers and creators and artistic people for a long time, and it's it's like we have so much historical evidence of intelligence and agency and power in this industry. And so we can't just dismiss it. We can't dismiss it. We can't just say it's all disempowering. We can't say it's all empowering either, because every situation is different. But I feel that, like, if we can open up a discussion about it and allow voices about it, and no stifling of free speech, for instance, like my book, then people will have more easy access to that information. Like, part of what excites me about my book and you helping me to build the momentum and get the word out there is that not only is the book written, but it's hopefully reached a lot of ears, enough ears that when someone starts looking for a book like this online, they'll be able to find it. And that means a lot, because it was the kind of book that I was looking for at one time. So it's just, it's, you know, it's my honest hope that it benefits people. It's this whole exciting part of like building my business, and like you taught me, like having a published book that kind of, you know, positions me as an expert in a certain area will benefit me for a business that I want to be in, of being an author speaker. And so that's the business I'm building. And so this book does help me in that way. It does. It's not all about benefiting everyone else. I'm so excited about what this book means for me in my life, and how it will hopefully build momentum for people to read my memoir, because I really feel like my memoir will really make an impact on people, and especially people who think that I might be glorifying the industry, because those are the people I would love the most to read my memoir and just have, you know, take a walk in my stilettos, as we say in the biz, and just see, you know, why I made the decisions I made as I went along, and how those decisions impacted me personally, and just see what it's like from another person's perspective, you know?
I do. And I think that also, like, when I reflected on when I reflect on my experience in the trade, it's interesting that, you know, you kind of, or I did kind of look for like who to blame for the bad things. And one thing that was a hard truth I had to grapple with was that I also had responsibility, in that there's um, there's a lot of deception and dishonesty in the industry, and I perpetuated some of that myself, to be honest. And I think that but it's because we don't know. We're walking around blind, stumbling over everything, just trying to like figure this whole thing out, and nobody is willing to teach us. And I
Mhm.
think that with a book like yours, like the Business Bible, I think that you're also helping people to enter, to behave within the industry, that helps to course correct the industry a bit. Like, you know, for men and women that go into the industry, if they're able to do it in a way that's independent, that is self-affirming, that grants some agency, that approaches it as a business, I think it can totally change the entire industry,
Mhm.
you know, in a really positive way. And I was interested to ask you, like, when you know, when you look at the next kind of trajectory for you, you know, you've got the Business Bible coming out, and then today, which everybody please buy,
Please
buy
buy
that.
it today.
And I wanted to just say, because I found that this is important to say, is that maybe not everybody needs this, but they want to still support you. And so I know that you are working with some agencies so that you can make sure that the people that actually really need this book, that it can get in the right hands. And so I wanted to just let people know that too, is that buy a copy for yourself and buy one that we can donate to an organization. And if you go to www.annietemple.com, there's lots of links for contact and stuff like that, so we can hold people's hands through that. But
Yeah, contact me, because I have a PO box that you can have the books directly sent to, and then I will distribute them to organizations, because I'm actually in contact with most, if not all, the organizations across Canada. And, you know, if we need to expand into other states, that's awesome too. And maybe I can work with people at organizations to have books sent directly to them.
yeah.
It's, I mean, I bought a bunch that I'm going to donate, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, I think it's just I don't want anyone who needs it not to be able to get their hands on it. So definitely reach out if you need it and you can't purchase it.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you too is you know, we when we started working together, like I feel like with you, where we were when we began working together and where we are today is just like it's just been such a fun like arc, you know, to go through with you. And I was
Mhm.
wondering if you wouldn't mind, because I mean, it is a business Bible and I'm a business consultant. And I was wondering, like, can you tell me a little bit about what you've learned from a business perspective going through? I mean, not everybody has the pleasure to have a business coach. I know that the times that I've been able to afford it is what made me know that I wanted to do it because it was so ratifying. But I
Mhm.
wanted to just ask you if you could talk a little bit about your experience about what, like, even like, what did you think about getting a business coach? Had you ever thought of it before? And what were you expecting it to be like? And what did it wind up being like?
Oh, I have so much to say about this. Okay, so first of all, I didn't think that I would be able to afford a business coach. That was my big thing. I did want a business coach. I thought a business coach would be amazing, but I just didn't know. And there are business coaches out there that have like a sliding scale, or they have like you can pick a package that works for you. And I think because you're my friend, you were kind enough to make like a special package for me. Uh, but what I started out doing, because I didn't think I could get a business coach, was I was just trying to reach out to all of my sex worker friends I could tell were really business minded, and trying to connect with them and ask them about what their businesses are, and just make friends with people who were doing that, hoping that I would get like this kind of relationship where we could bounce things off each other and it could help me, because I was feeling like I kind of know what I want to do, but I don't know for sure. I have ideas, but I don't know if they're good ideas. I don't know how to make this work. I don't know how to build momentum. And then I had my fears, my imposter syndrome, everything else, that was just like making me feel like stalling me and stopping me from really moving forward as quickly as I would have liked. And then you reached out to me because you noticed I was talking about my memoir that had finished writing, and now I have to add some because I'm going to have a big, huge surgery next week. So I got to add that to the end of the memoir. Anyway, you reached out to me and said, I would love to give you some advice, like as friend to friend, like let's hang out on a Zoom for an hour and I'll tell you what I know about book launches. And so we met for an hour, and it was the most amazing, incredible, exciting conversation I'd had around my dreams and my vision and my writing that I'd ever had, actually. And I just was so excited. And so then I wanted to, because I didn't think I could afford you, I asked if I could just give you like $100 here, $100 there to keep meeting with me. And that's when you negotiated something that I could work with you. And oh my gosh, I've worked my ass off and you've worked your ass off. And it's been amazing. A big, huge part of what you did for me is helping me to refine my vision of the business that I wanted to create and what would be best for me using my skill set and my interests and my um you know what I have to offer. And what I best really have to offer is my writing and speaking. And so when we finally drilled down to that, that was a huge relief for me, because I had the ideas of how you have to be to make money in any business. And you were able to show me that there's a way to monetize my skill set and do it in an authentic way, taking into consideration what I'm passionate about, what the causes that I believe in, and being my authentic self. And we talked a lot through that as well about like, who is Annie Temple? What is the personality that I want people to see when they meet me? And I just was honest. I was like, I can't not be me, so it's gonna have to just be authentic Annie. So I just, yeah, there's
We did. We even
so
went
much
back and forth
love.
with like what name you would use, if you would use
I know.
name or and even like who your audience was going to be was really fun. There was a lot of shifting, and I just want to say,
Totally.
I've worked with a lot of clients. I'm very blessed to be able to see kind of behind the curtain of a lot of businesses, which has taken my own experience of business and really elevated it, because I get to hear from all these different entrepreneurs about their fears and their concerns and their wins and their losses and that kind of stuff. But what I really liked about working with you, and I think this comes from the industry, from the sex work industry, is your hustle. Like you just, like you're right. We didn't have a big budget, so we couldn't have a big team. And we had to really collaborate, in a big way. And you just like, you would get it and you would activate it. And you would also come up with ideas that were super in alignment. You faced your fears head on.
I mean, 3 weeks ago, I was talking to you, telling you I think we have to cancel my book launch. I have to cancel my birthday party in January. I'm turning 50 in January, planning this big party. I was feeling so like just all of a sudden I'm having a surgery. I knew the surgery was coming eventually, but I didn't know when. And then it just suddenly got here, and I was just devastated. And you really, like, I had a lot of people, including my best friend Dawn there in the comments.
Hi, Dawn.
who have really helped me through everything. Oh my God. And Amanda, you were the person who pushed me not to let our momentum go. We said, okay, so I don't even, maybe it was 4 weeks ago or whatever, but you said, okay, let's set a date before your surgery to launch the Business Bible, and let's just do it as quickly as we can so we can get it out of the way. And then don't make any decisions about your birthday in January, because you don't know, you might just bounce back from the surgery. And so, it's true, I might. And I don't want to break this momentum. And so I've been visualizing myself being on the Penthouse stage at midnight on my birthday. And yes, I do a little dance for you all.
Well, I hope that, I really wanted to know that, the surgery that you're facing is not, it's not a small thing, it's a really big thing. Yeah. And I really admire the way that you're approaching it. I know that it's up and down, but for the most part, I learn a lot too from you around mindset. And like, I'm sick right now with a cold. It's not COVID. I got a test. But I'm so paranoid now when you cough or sneeze anywhere,
I know.
But I had you in my ear. It's like, I'm not going to get down about a cold. There's much bigger challenges out there. But I also really wanted to do this before you went into your surgery. I wanted you to have, this energy with you.
You're going to make me cry, man.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I've cried through so many meetings.
It's like the third time I've welled up in this conversation.
It's okay, but you just like listened to me bawl my eyes out how many times over the past few weeks. Like, just, oh my gosh, pouring my heart out to you. It's been so hard to get to this moment. Like, I can't believe today is here. The book launch day is here. It's been a huge, exciting stress in my life. It has kept my mind off the surgery, which has been amazing. It's really, really helped me with that. It's helped me focus on what matters. It's helped me remember that the big picture of my life is not this one little surgery that I'm about to have. It's not a little surgery. I'm going to have an ileostomy bag, which changes my whole body and changes how I go to the bathroom. And it's a very big surgery. And my kids are scared. My kids are worried about me. My family's worried, not worried about me because they know I'm a strong person, but just worried about the surgery because, surgeries all come with risks, and it's scary for our whole family. And Dawn, you're gonna make me cry too. You guys, I'm like trying so hard. It's been I was bawling my eyes out yesterday. Like, I was just like, oh my God. But yes, no, we are here. We're gonna get through the book launch and become a bestseller today. I visualized it, so it's gonna happen.
I dreamt about it last night, so that means it's definitely gonna happen.
Oh my God. And having said that, I'm like, oh, one of my biggest fears getting into all this was putting myself out in front of the sex worker community, because there are so many shining stars and amazing, incredible people in the sex worker community that are just like, that I admire so much and that I've followed for years, and just, you know, a lot of them I've been too scared to even speak to, because I just like, they're celebrities to me. And since I've started like really going out of my comfort zone, thanks to you pushing me to doing lives every day, posting swipe graphics and videos, and like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Any of my friends, like, I hope you're not annoyed with me by now, but that's what I expected. I expected people to get annoyed with me, but I cannot believe the amazing amount of support I've gotten. It's just, that is just like, that's what I was crying about yesterday. I was just crying about all these amazing messages I'm getting, not just from sex workers and friends, but also from clients, and not even clients that, you know, have ever met me, but other people's clients that are just, they just believe in what I'm doing. They care about the people in our industry, and they support my dreams. And I just can't, I want to thank everybody, because I just can't even put into words, like it's so surprising that I've gotten this kind of amazing reaction, and I'm just so grateful. I can't even express how grateful I feel. Like it's not enough, you know. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, I know that we've come to the end of the live is coming up, and I just wanted to really say thank you for, hiring Visionary Business Coach and me. It's been an honor to work with you and to continue to work with you. And I just wanted to say thank you, not only for the business, but also for the opportunity to be a part of this journey with you.
Well, I want to thank you, because I wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for you. That is 100% a fact. So, I'm so grateful.
I just wanted to say too, Dawn, you mentioned a book signing, getting your book signed, and actually something that's super cool about the birthday party that Annie's going to do in January is we're going to do a pre-launch, like it's the pre-sales for the memoir will go available then, but also the event is going to be a book signing event at the Penthouse, which how cool is that? So that's the intention, is that if you don't see your first before then to get your copy or your copy signed, that book is your ticket into the event and to get the book signed.
Yeah. Although Dawn will know that I'll just see her next week and I'll sign her.
I was utilizing her comment as a chance.
Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you, everyone, so much. Oh my God, I'm just so excited. A lot of people are posting on Twitter and Facebook and sending me messages and emails letting me know that they bought my book. And I'm so grateful for everybody's support. And like I said, if you can't afford the book, just reach out and let me know, because I want to make sure that everyone can get their hands on it. And I love you all. Oh, and I will be in touch. I'll let people know what.
I just forgot. We forgot to mention the book bonuses.
There's some bonuses
when you buy the book. Do you want to just real quick say what the bonuses?
I know. It's like everyone wants to support me even without bonuses. But what are the bonuses?
Yeah, we talk about the bonuses, and then I'm going to tell you which one of the bonuses is my favorite.
Oh, okay. There is an free Ask Annie, which is usually $50, where you can record a message asking me anything you want to ask, and I will record a message answering very honestly and authentically and respectfully any question that you have. There is also a Pocket Bible, and it's basically a shorter version of the Business Bible, although it has some other stuff in it as well, like a photograph session list that can give you tips to have a good photography session. That's not in the larger book, but that is in the Pocket Bible, and it's free when you buy the book. And there's also the manifestation video, which I love so much, and Amanda helped me so much with that. And it's just a beautiful video that will help uplift you and get you into the right mindset to kick ass at life, not just at your business, I think.
So my favorite one of the book bonuses is the Ask Annie feature, because I think it's so true. So many people have these burning questions, like you say in the recorded message, that they're too intimidated to ask. And so I think it's really cool that you get one for free. Normally it's a $50 purchase, like you said. And if you buy a copy of the book, not if you buy a copy of the book, just go back to the website, annietemple.com, drop the order number in, and you'll get access to a free Ask Annie. It's right on the website. So you can you'll hear her message. It'll play her awesome message explaining what it is. And then you just record one back. And for me, that's my favorite feature. I've never heard anybody else do that before. Any of the other.
I had a bunch of people send me messages saying, that's brilliant.
Oh, good.
And I'm so excited about getting those. So, oh my gosh, I can't wait to answer them. I can't wait to see what people ask me. That will be so interesting, as a person who's like studies the people around me and just so interested in human nature. I'd love to see what people's burning questions are. Totally. I guess we should get going.
Hey, it's so good to be here. Thanks everybody for your support, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.